So the first chapter for your syllabus is the drugs acting on central nervous system. Second one is drugs acting on autonomous nervous system. Okay. Now the nervous system they are classified into two types. As we know, they are classified into central nervous system. Okay, so the nervous system classified into central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. And this peripheral nervous system is classified into autonomous nervous system and somatic nervous system. Okay, so in the central nervous system, they generally consist of brain and the related part and the spinal cord. Okay, the nervous system which are related with the brain and spinal cord, they comes under this central nervous system. Second one, that is the peripheral nervous system. It is the other part than the central nervous system. It comes under the peripheral nervous system. Okay, so in that, again, the peripheral nervous system, it is classified into ANS, that is the autonomous nervous system, and second one, somatic nervous system. So in autonomous nervous system, that means a name indicates autonomous or autonomic, that is the involuntary nervous system. Okay, and this somatic, it indicates the voluntary nervous system or the voluntary movements in our body. They are nothing but the due to the somatic nervous system, and the involuntary movements other than CNS, they comes under the ANS. Okay, so as we know that we are moving our hands. Okay, so when we want to move our hands, we can move our hands. That is the voluntary movement of our hands, skeletal muscles. Okay, so these voluntary movements, it comes under the somatic nervous system. आपल्याला वाटलं आपण बसावं, उठावं, जावं, चालावं. So all these movements, walking, sitting, running, writing, watching the TV, all these movements, these are the voluntary movements. If we want, we can go for these. Then such movements, they are called as somatic nervous system. Now, next part, tell me, our heart beats. Okay, that is the normal rhythm of heart beating, 72 per minute. Okay, so if we want, can we reduce the heartbeats 50, 40? No, it is not possible. Can we increase the heart rate by ourselves 90, 100? No, it is not possible. So the beating of heart, the the movement of cardiac muscle, their contraction, relaxation, it is not in our hands. We cannot control all these movements. So such movements, they comes under the autonomous nervous system, and such movements, they are called as involuntary movements. That means which are not in our control. Okay, smooth muscles, exocrine gland. So all these, the movements of all these, they comes under the involuntary movements. That is, their movement is not in our hand. We cannot do anything regarding this. We cannot say stop the heartbeats. स्टॉप म्हटलं तर हार्टबीट स्टॉप होणार आहे का, चालू म्हटलं तर चालू होणार आहे का. So it is their own mechanism, it is body's own mechanism, it is the involuntary mechanism, it is the involuntary movement. So such movements, they comes under the autonomous nervous system. Now you got the points. So our nervous system, it is classified into central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. In central nervous system, it includes the brain and the spinal cord. Okay, so anxiety, depression, Parkinson. So the such disease, they comes under this central nervous system. Then second part of nervous system, it is the peripheral, which other than the central nervous system, the nervous system is called as the peripheral nervous system. So this peripheral nervous system, if it is involuntary, it is not in control of us, in our control. So uncontrolled movement, it comes under the ANS. And if the movement is under control, we can control that movement. So such movement, they comes under the somatic nervous system. Okay, the skeletal muscles. Okay, we can walk, we can talk, we can run, we can sit. All these movements, these are the voluntary movements, which are the somatic, due to the somatic nervous system. Beating of heart, that is cardiac muscle contraction, relaxation. Smooth muscle contract, smooth muscle, their contraction, relaxation, activity of smooth muscles, secretion of different hormones, exocrine gland. It is not in our movement, it is the involuntary. So they comes under the autonomous nervous system. Okay, so this is about the nervous system. Now we have already seen in drugs acting on CVS in last semester what we have seen. For the muscle to contract and relax, there must be the action potential present, or the action potential must be present. So due to the action potential, one cell can transfer the activity to the other cell, second from third, third to fourth, fourth to five, when it is possible, when there is action potential is present. Similarly, in case of nervous system, there must be presence of action potential to transfer a nerve impulses from one cell to the another, and finally it goes to the brain. Now for example, hmm, for example, तुमच्या हाताला कापलं, बरोबर आहे, जे तुमच्या हाताला कट होतं त्यावेळी तुम्हाला पेन्स होतात किंवा तुम्हाला दुखतं. हे का दुखतं? Because the impulses of pain from the area of cut is transferred to the brain, and where you realize you have the pain, then you come to know that there is a cut. Understand? If we stop these impulses to transfer to the brain, what happens? The impulses will not reach the brain, and if they will not reach the brain, you will not realize that there is a cut to your area and there is a pain in that area. So this response, when they produces pain, is the response. When it produces the response, when the impulses are transferred to the brain, then only you can say that you have the cut. तुम्हाला कट झालं आणि तुमची रिस्पॉन्स ब्रेन पर्यंत गेलंच नाही तर तुम्हाला पेन होणार नाही. लक्षात आलं व्हॉट आय एम सेइंग? इन केस ऑफ एनास्थेशिया, इन केस ऑफ एनास्थेशिया, बरोबर आहे, मी एनास्थेशियाचं एक्झाम्पल देतो. एनास्थेशियामध्ये आपण काय करतो? नर्व इम्पल्सेस त्याचे हेल्ड करतो, ट्रान्सफर होऊन देत नाही एका नर्व पासून दुसऱ्या नर्व कडे, so that they will not reach to the brain. So when you are giving the anesthesia, you can go for the surgery. It may be the minor surgery or the major surgery. Okay, ते त्यांना किंवा त्या पेशंट हा अनकॉन्शियस असतो किंवा त्याला पेन आहे ते होत नाहीत. Why this is happening? Because the nerve impulses, they are not transferred from one cell to the another cell, to the second to the third, third to the fourth, fourth to the fifth, and finally to the brain, that is the central nervous system. Then you can feel there is a pain or anything, any going on at that part. Okay, so similar mechanism we have to adapt in the drugs acting on central nervous system. So before going to the mechanism of action of these drugs acting on central nervous system, first we will know how the nerve impulses, they are transferred from one cell to the another cell. Okay, so the transmission of nerve impulses is very important. Okay, now you can observe this part. Outside there is a positive charge present, inside the neuron there is a negative charge is present. That means the potential difference between the positive and negative is there. And when the potential difference is more between outside the cell, that is the extracellular part, and the intracellular part, that case it is called as polarization state. Why polarization? Because they are having the different poles, that is the positive part and the negative part, and their potential difference is also more. So this is called as polarization state. At the polarization state, the nerve cell is in the resting state. Okay, so when polarized membrane is present, the neuron or nerve is in the resting state. लक्षात आलं. सो ज्यावेळी नर्व रेस्टिंग स्टेटला असतं, बाहेरच्या साईडला पॉझिटिव्ह चार्ज जास्त असतो, आतल्या साईडला निगेटिव्ह चार्ज जास्त असतो, दोघांच्या मध्ये पोटेन्शियल डिफरन्स असते. अँड ड्यू टू दॅट there is no transfer of nerve impulses from one cell to the another cell or one nerve to the another nerve. Now next step, what happens outside or extracellular part, there is a positive charge species are present. So this positive charge sodium channel opens and sodium ion it moves inside the neuron from extracellular part. And when they move from extracellular part to the inside the part, what happens? Positive charge outside the cell decreases, negative charge outside the cell decreases. And if these two decreases, the potential difference between outside the cell or extracellular part and the intracellular part, this potential difference also decreases. And when this potential difference decreases, the condition moves to the depolarization state. As the positive charge and negative charge, their difference is decreased. And when cell is in the depolarization state, it can transfer impulse from one cell to the another cell or from one nerve to the another nerve. So when cell is in the polarized state, it is in the resting state. When the cell is in the depolarization state, it can have action potential. It can transfer a nerve impulses from one nerve to the another nerve or from one cell to the another cell. Understand? So when sodium channel inside, बाहेरचा पॉझिटिव्ह चार्ज कमी होतो, आतला निगेटिव्ह चार्ज कमी होतो. सो त्यांच्यामधलं पोटेन्शियल डिफरन्स कमी होतं. पोटेन्शियल डिफरन्स कमी झालं, सेल डिपोलरायझेशन स्टेटला जातो. डिपोलरायझेशन स्टेटला गेला तर न इम्पल्सेस हे ट्रान्सफर होऊ शकतात. सो पोलरायझेशन दॅट इज द रेस्टिंग स्टेट. ओके, सो पोलरायझेशन मध्ये काय होतं? Potassium leaks from neuron. It determines the resting membrane potential. As I have told, outside the cell, positive charge present, inside the cell, negative charge present. So potential difference is more. So it is having the polarization, so the resting state. Depolarization मध्ये काय होतं? सोडियम आतमध्ये येतात. सोडियम जर सेल मध्ये आले तर पॉझिटिव्ह चार्ज बाहेरचा कमी होतो, आतला निगेटिव्ह चार्ज कमी होतो, दोघांच्या मधलं polarization कमी होतं. So the depolarization होतं, and due to the depolarization, stimulation of nerve impulses takes place. Nerve impulses can transfer from one cell to the another cell. Again, what happens? Potassium is the intracellular ion. It is the positive charge species. Potassium काय करतात? आतून परत बाहेर मध्ये जातात. That is the potassium rushes out. सो बाहेरचा पॉझिटिव्ह चार्ज परत वाढतो, आतला निगेटिव्ह चार्ज परत वाढतो. इट प्रोड्युसेस द रिपोलरायझेशन. परत पोलरायझेशन स्टेट आहे ती तयार होते आणि रिपोलरायझेशनला परत रेस्टिंग स्टेट तयार होते. लक्षात आलं? सो इन दिस वे द ऍक्शन पोटेन्शियल and resting state works. So it is purely depending upon the entry and exit of ions, the amount of positive charge ions outside the cell, negative charge ions inside the cell. Okay, why it is necessary to study this part? If we have to stop one process, one impulse, सपोज आपल्याला पेन स्टॉप करायचे, तर पेन स्टॉप करायचे असतील तर तुम्हाला काय करायला पाहिजे? Okay, now the first sub chapter you can say, or the sub unit of the first chapter, that is the drug acting on central nervous system, that is the sedative and hypnotics. Okay, so what is hypnotic drugs? So the hypnotic drugs which produces sleep that resembles a normal sleep. Okay, so hypnotic is a drug which are responsible to produce a sleep which looks like a normal sleep. So that is hypnotic. And what is sedative? It only the calm. It produces the calmness. It decreases the activity. It decreases the excitement. It decreases the anxiety. So sedative and hypnotics, these are the sedative and hypnotics, these are the two different parts. Sedative means which decreases the activity, excitement, anxiety, depression of CNS, but without producing the sleep. But the hypnotics, they produces all these things with drowsiness and sleep. And generally the hypnotics, they having the quick onset of action and short duration. Okay, so these are the drugs which are given to produce the sedative effect or the hypnotic effect. So barbiturates, phenobarbital, they comes under these barbiturates. Alcohol, they are also the CNS depressant. Alcohol actually, it is not a CNS stimulant, it is a CNS depressant. They produces the sedative hypnotic type of effect. They reduces anxiety, they produces the calmness. Okay, so it is not the CNS stimulant. Alcohol is the CNS depressant. Third one, benzodiazepine. Then drugs which are like benzodiazepam, that is zolpidem, zolpidem, zopiclone, so comes under this one. Then serotonin agonist buspirone, it also comes under the this one. But in our syllabus for this part, it is the drugs acting on sedative and hypnotics, only the benzodiazepines are there. Barbiturates are not there for the syllabus. In earlier when CBGS syllabus was there, so barbiturates was there in the syllabus. But in this, for your syllabus, CBCS part, this barbiturates are removed, and only the benzodiazepine they are present for your syllabus for this semester. Okay, in case of sedative hypnotics, they will comes in other CNS drugs. But for case of sedative and hypnotics, only the benzodiazepine drugs are present. So GABA receptor, it consists of 5 subunits. Okay, so these are the polypeptide subunits which consist of 2 alpha, 2 beta, and 1 gamma unit. So totally they consist of the 5 polypeptide subunits. So they are present like this. Okay, so it includes, or this GABA receptor, it includes the chloride ion channel. So when GABA receptor get activated, chloride channel opens, and this chlorides is enter into the cell from outside the cell or from extracellular part. So in this way, the chloride, it enters into the cell through the GABA receptor. Okay. Now there are two main important drugs which act as sedative and hypnotics. One is the barbiturate, second one is the benzodiazepine. So what the barbiturate it does, it increases the duration of chloride channel opening. Okay. Now consider the opening of channel. Okay. Generally, if we are not giving any drug, suppose it is opening for 5 minutes. It is for suppose. Okay. When we are giving the barbiturates, the timing of these 5 it may increase to 7 minutes. So more time the channel will remain open. And if channel will remain open more time than the normal time, more amount of Cl it can enter into the cell than the normal. So more amount of Cl when it enters into the cell, what happens inside the cell, the negative charge increases, outside the cell the positive charge increases, and it will lead to the hyperpolarization state. And as we have discussed, when the nerve membrane is in the hyperpolarization state or in the polarization state, so it is the resting state, say there is no transfer of nerve impulses from one cell to the another cell. So when more amount of chloride ions it enters into the cell, it results into the polarization or hyperpolarization, which leads to stop the transfer of nerve impulses from one cell to the another cell. And when they inhibited, the CNA depression activity takes place. Okay. So these barbiturates, they are responsible to increase the duration of opening of Cl minus channel or chloride channel. What is the benzodiazepam? So benzodiazepam, they increases the frequency of chloride channel opening. Now what do you mean by the frequency? So suppose in the 5 minutes, if the channel is opening 2 times, ओके सपोज 5 मिनिटामध्ये 2 वेळा चॅनल ओपन होतं. जर आपण बेन्झोडायझेपाम दिलं, सो दॅट frequency of opening the channel in 5 minutes it may lead to the 4 times. So due to increase the frequency of channel opening, what happens, more amount of Cl minus it can enter into the cell. Okay, so when more amount of Cl minus it enters into the cell, what happens if this Cl minus enters into the cell? So negative charge inside the cell increases, positive charge outside the cell increases. It will lead to the polarization or hyperpolarization state. And this polarization or hyperpolarization state, it will lead to the resting state. So there is no transfer of nerve impulses from one cell to the next cell. So CNS depression activity we will get. So that is the mechanism of action of benzodiazepam and barbiturates. Okay. So next important part is that where they binds. Okay. So they consist of pentameric structures or the 5 subunits of polypeptides. So where the binding of these drugs like benzodiazepam and barbiturate takes place. It is not like that if we are giving the barbiturate, it can bind to any part. So when we are giving the barbiturates, this barbiturate binds the interface of alpha and beta subunit. So here you will observe alpha and beta subunit. In between that, the binding of barbiturate takes place. So here this is alpha, this is beta. So in between that, here barbiturates can bind. This is beta, this is alpha. So here they can bind. Here they can bind. So barbiturates can bind in between the two subunits, that is alpha and beta subunits. Now, if we are giving the benzodiazepam, this benzodiazepam can bind to the subunit, that is alpha and gamma. Okay, so here alpha subunit is there, this is gamma subunit. So in between them, the binding of benzodiazepam takes place. Okay, so that is the complete mechanism of action of sedative and hypnotics. Are you getting my point? First one, GABA receptor is a receptor which having the chloride ion channel. So when the opening of GABA receptor or activation of GABA receptor takes place, automatically chloride ion channel will open, and due to the opening of chloride ion channel, chloride cans or the chlorine can enters into the cell. And when chlorine enters into the cell, what happens? Inside the cell, negative charge increases. Outside the cell, positive charge increases. And it will lead to the formation of hyperpolarization or polarization state. Okay. And that is the resting state. Next part, benzodiazepine barbiturates are the GABA agonists. So they activate the GABA receptor so that chloride ion channel can open. So this barbiturates is responsible to increase the duration of chloride ion channel opening, and benzodiazepam is responsible to increase the frequency of chloride ion channel. So ultimately both are responsible to increase the entry of chlorides into the cell. Okay, that is the hyperpolarization state. Next part, barbiturate binds to alpha beta subunit, benzodiazepam binds to the alpha gamma subunit. So in this way we can say the mechanism of action for sedative hypnotic drugs such as barbiturates and benzodiazepam. Barbiturate is not there for your syllabus regarding the sedative hypnotics, but you should know what is the mechanism of action difference between barbiturates and benzodiazepam. So this is the structure of GABA receptor. Barbiturates binds, GABA binds here. This is the channel pore through which the chloride entry takes place. Okay, so that is the pentamer. So that is the ionotropic GABA receptor which having the chloride ion channel. Okay, so these are some examples regarding the benzodiazepam. Just go through the examples, write down your notebook. Diazepam, chlordiazepoxide, oxazepam, lorazepam, alprazolam, triazolam. These are there in our syllabus. Now we will move to the next important part, that is the structure activity relationship of benzodiazepam. Okay, so as the name indicates, benzodiazepine. Okay, benzo means benzene ring, here it is present. Diaza means 2 nitrogen, pine means 7 member ring. So benzodiazepine, so this ring is called as benzodiazepine ring, that is the benzene ring attached to the diazepine ring. This nitrogen having first, this is second carbon, third carbon, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, nine. In this way the numbering of this benzodiazepine ring takes place. Okay, so during starting the SAR, we will start with this part, benzene part. So at the benzene, at the 7th position, there is X is present. Okay, so X indicates the electron withdrawing group. So there must be presence of electron withdrawing group at 7th position. So this electron withdrawing group, what it does, it withdraws the electrons, and they are responsible to maintain the resonating structure in the lead molecule. And due to this resonating structure, it increases the stability of drug. So there must be presence of electron withdrawing group at the 7th position. So which are the electron withdrawing groups? You can say nitro groups are there, halogens, chlorides in that halogens. Okay, trifluoromethane, CHF3, CF3. So such groups, they can be present at the 7th position, which are the electron withdrawing group, which will increases the activity. If at the 7th position if it is unsubstituted or electron donating groups are present like methyl group. So what happens? If such groups are present, it disturbs the resonating structure, it disturbs the stability of a structure. Hence, they will decreases the activity. So there must be presence of electron withdrawing group at 7 position. Next point regarding this benzene ring is that remaining these 6, 8 and 9, this position must be the unsubstituted position for the optimum activity. If these positions are substituted, it will disturb the resonance, it will decreases the activity. So there must be presence of unsubstituted position, that is this position 6, position 8 and position 9. So this is regarding this benzo part. Now we will move to the next part, diazepine part. In diazepine part, you can observe at the 5th position, phenyl ring is present. Okay, so there must be presence of phenyl ring at 5th position, which will increase the activity. And if this phenyl ring is substituted at the ortho position, okay, if it is present or it is substituted at the ortho position, it will increase the activity. So you can substitute one ortho position or both the ortho position for increasing the activity. Other than ortho position, if any substitution is there at para position, it will decreases the activity. So in case of phenyl substitution at 5th position, there must be presence of substitution. If present, it must be at the ortho or diortho position. If the substitution is at para position, it will decreases the activity. At that ortho position, substitution must be the electron withdrawing. It should not be the electron donating group. So this is about the 5th position. Then you can observe between 4th and 5th, there is presence of double bond. So that is the unsaturated part. If we convert this double bond into the single bond, that is the saturation or saturated part, it will decreases activity. Or shifting of this double bond, it will decreases the activity. So the saturation between N4 and C5 double bond, it will decreases the activity. लक्षात आलं? So double bond इथे असला पाहिजे. Next one, this is 3rd position. Here you observe the empty position. Okay, if this 3rd position is substituted with alkyl group such as methyl or ethyl group or any alkyl group, if it is substituted this 3rd position, then the activity will decrease. But if you substitute it with the hydroxy group at 3rd position, the 3rd position ला आपण hydroxy group attach केलं, your drug becomes polar. And if drug becomes polar, it will go metabolism quickly, hence the duration of activity decreases. But for better water solubility, this hydroxy group is required. So this hydroxy group is responsible to affect the pharmacokinetic property of a drug. If OH is not there, then drug becomes non-polar, its duration of activity increases as the metabolism decreases. Okay, so that is the difference if OH group is present or OH group is absent. So there is a compulsory question on this part, that is the 3rd hydroxy group. Give the example of drug having shorter duration of activity, like this they may ask, or they may ask what happens if at the 3rd position hydroxy group is attached, or what is the effect on pharmacokinetic property if 3-hydroxy benzodiazepam is present. So like this they are asking the questions. So if hydroxy group is present, they can undergo hepatic oxidation. If it is absent, it goes under hepatic oxidation. But if hydroxy group is present, then it becomes more polar and they directly undergo the conjugation reaction. So at 3-hydroxy position is present, they are responsible to increase the metabolic property, hence duration of activity decreases. Next, second carbonyl group is required for the optimum activity. At the first nitrogen R is present, this R must be the small for the better activity. But sometimes this nitrogen and this carbon, that is the first nitrogen and carbon, they are present in the cyclic form or in the ring form, in the fused triazole ring. If such are present, it will promote the activity. For example, alprazolam, midazolam is there, triazolam is there, which having the imidazole ring in their structure. So here imidazole ring is formed due to the fusion, and if imidazole ring is present, so at that time, at the 7th position, electron withdrawing group is not necessary. It is present, it will show better activity, but if it is not there, then it will not affect the activity. Okay. So once again we will go through SAR. Okay. At the 7th position, electron withdrawing group must be present. 6, 8, 9 must be unsubstituted. Then at the 5th position, phenyl ring is present. At the phenyl ring, there must be presence of ortho or diortho substitution if any substitution is present. If there is no substitution, then only it will show the better activity. But if substitution will present, it must be at ortho or diortho group. If the substitution is present at para substitution, it will decreases the activity. And J substitution as well, it must be the electron withdrawing group. Then this unsaturated part must be remain as it is for the optimum activity. If the double bond between N4 and C5, if it is removed or it is reduced, it will convert it into saturated part, then activity will decrease. Then at the third position, if alkyl group is attached, the activity will decrease. If hydroxy group is attached, its duration of activity will decrease. So the duration of activity will decrease due to increase the metabolism, as it consists of the polar group. So polar group are readily available, so they can undergo the conjugation reaction fastly, so its duration of activity decreases. Then at second position, carbonyl group is required. At first position, R is there, that is the substitution, so it must be the small substitution for the better activity. Sometimes these are present in the form of cyclic structure like imidazole, and if such cyclic structures are present, it will show optimum activity. But at that time, it is this part, that is the 7th position electron withdrawing group, is not necessary. If it is present or absent, it will not affect the activity. Okay, so this is about the SAR of the benzodiazepam. So here you can observe in alprazolam, midazolam, there is a presence of cyclic structure. Okay, triazole ring, they consist of the triazole ring. Here imidazole ring is present. So such rings are present, it will show the optimum activity. Okay, at 7th position you can observe electron withdrawing groups are present, double bond present, phenyl ring is present. If phenyl ring is present, there must be presence of electron withdrawing group at ortho positions for the better activity. Here oxazepam, it having the third hydroxy group or hydroxy group at third position, so it will decreases the duration of activity. Okay, so this is about the SAR part of the benzodiazepine. The main part regarding the metabolism of these drugs, that we will see in the next lecture.